So hey everyone, today we are going to discuss a problem and the name of the problem is pattern 19. Okay, so what does the problem statement says that we have to take input n and for that n we need to print a pattern like this. And if we clearly see this pattern, this is nothing. This is just simply swastik. Okay, so we need to print swastik for each n value. Okay, so let's discuss this code for n equals to 7. Let we are considering a test case where the value of n is 7. So I have already drawn a swastik for n equals to 7. Let's visualize this, what is happening here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this problem into 5 simple steps. Okay, instead of doing this as a instead of taking this problem as a single problem, I'm just going to divide this into 5 simple steps. Okay, so what are those 5 steps? If I clearly see here, I'm just what I'm doing. This is what is this up till above this. What is what was that above this line? Above this is my first half. Above mid, this is my first half, and after this is my right half, this is my second half. So what I need to do is I am just visualizing my first half and I am visualizing my second half. So what I am doing is, that is, if I clearly see here, that is what is happening in the first half, that is in the first line. What is happening in the first line? What is happening? That is, it's nothing but we are printing star up till when. We are printing star up till when. If let we consider a test case where we are just what I was doing is, if I value is equals to 1, it means if I value is equals to 1, I'm just dividing this problem firstly into 5 steps. That is, for I equals to 1, where the value of I is equals to 1. Okay, so for this I'll do some kind of some sort of other operations. Okay, I'll consider this as a separate thing. I'm dividing these two lines as I'm just tackling these two lines in again a different manner. That is I less than equals to n by 2. I'm tackling these lines again as a with a different manner, and this is my mid one. So I am tackling mid as a different thing. Okay, so what I was doing is, this is my mid. So in mid, what the value of mid is? Mid is nothing. It is simply equals to I equals to n by 2 plus 1. So this is about my mid. I'm just what I'm doing is I'm just dividing this single problem into 5 steps. Okay, so first step was I'm tackling I with I. Whenever the I is 1, I'm tackling it with this condition is with in a different manner. If the value of I is less than equals to n by 2, I'm just putting some different conditions for this. If the value is I equals to n by 2 plus 1, then I'm considering it as a different one. And here, if the value of I is greater than what? Greater than n by 2. Greater than n by 2, I'm just considering it as different one. So that is what n greater than n by 2 plus 1. And if here I'm saying this, if the value of I is equals to n, I'm considering this as a different condition. Okay, so now from here, what I can see is, if the value of I is equals to n, what I can say that this like this, we can say this, if the value of j is equals to n, it means the way this is my first row. In the first row, that is in the first row, what I'm saying this, if the value of jth column is equals to n, if the value of j is equals to n, or j is less than equals to n by 2 plus 1, till here what I need to do, I need to print the value of star. What does it mean? For example, let me consider this line. Let me consider this line. What I was saying is, if I'll write the condition like this, it means j equals to n. It means for this I am printing star, or I am printing star also for these values. Okay, and other than that, if any of the condition occur, I'm just printing spaces. So for these two 5th and 6th column, what is going to be printed? It is a simple space is going to be printed for that. Okay, now let's consider this case. Here what is happening? It is nothing. If j is less than, I mean if j is equals to what? N, or is equals to n, or j is greater, j is less, j is equals to n by 2 plus 1. If any of the condition will satisfy, what I need to do, I need to print star there in for this situation. If the value of I is less than equals to n by 2, then what I am doing is, if the value of I is less than equals to n by 2, then I am simply doing what? If the value of j is less than n, I am printing star only at this position and at this position for this. Now at this position where the value of I is equals to n by 2, what does it, n by 2 plus 1, but what does it mean? If I am at my mid position, so if at my mid, what I need to do, I need to print simply star at each of the position, so I don't need to do anything. I'm printing star 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 star. Okay, so and again here what is happening here, that is this, if just this one like this, let's do it here like here. Yeah, if the value of I is greater than n by 2 plus 1, I am tackling this as again a different situation. So here I can see this, if the value of j, I mean the column value is equals to 1, or 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 I can say if the value of j is equals to n by 2 plus 1, then I need to print star. Other than that, what I need to print, I need to print simple spaces. So for this I have done with this, but in the last line, where the I is equals to n, what I can say this, I can say that for j equals to 1, I need to print star, or I can say if j value greater than equals to n by 2 plus 1. So what does it mean? N by 2 gives me what? N is 7. 7 by 3 is what? That is what? That is nothing. That is 3 simply. And if I'll divide 3, if I'll divide 2, if I'll divide simply with 2, that it will give me around 3.5, and 3.5, the integer, if I'll convert it into integer, the integer of 3.5 is 3, and I'll simply add 1 into it. So what is it? It is 3 plus 1, that is equals to 4. So for 4, if the value of j is greater than, I mean 4 till 7, I need to print star. So within these constraints, within these situation, within these condition, I'm going to handle my program. Okay, so let's, without wasting our time, let's move toward the code section. Okay, so now we are going to code it. So firstly, what I need to do, I need to take input for n, and after taking input for n, what I need to take, I have taken input for n. Okay, so after taking input for n, what I am doing is, so simply what I am doing, I am printing star here with the separated with the space. Okay, so and after this, what I'm printing, I'm just changing the line. So let's run this code. Although it's not working fine, it's not going to be work fine. Actually, what was happening here is, for the test, for if we'll consider a test case for 5, what is going to happen? That is, run this code. Output is what? For 5, what we are printing is, we are printing what? We are printing star in each of the line. Okay, so we have printed what? We have printed this matrix full of stars. Okay, so now I have to write some condition for to form to make the valid condition for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just handling this part. Where is it? Is, yeah, this one. So here what I'm going to do is, I am doing this, that is, if I'm just writing some if else condition, that is what, if my value of I, if I is equals to 1, I have to do something here. I'm just putting my 5 condition which I have wrote over there. So what was that 5 condition? If the value of I is 1, if the value of I is less than equals to n by 2, value is equals or value is greater or something. So I'm just putting those 5 conditions. So else if I greater than equals to n by 2, if this is, I need to do something again, I need to do something different. Else if I is what? I is equals to n by 2, that is plus 1. If the value of I is, then we need to do something different here. And else if let's change it like this. Else if the value of I is what? I is what? I is greater than n. I is greater than n by 2. I mean, if the condition will like this, n by 2 plus 1. So what I have right over here is I have written the condition, that is if the value of, else if I is I mean, yeah, sorry, instead of this I need to write it if the I is less than n. So here I need to do something, and again the condition which is left over, that is what, else I is equals to n. Okay, so here we are doing this if the value of I is greater than n by 2, if the value of I is less than n, then we are doing something here, and if the value of else, in the else part we are doing something. Okay, so what we are doing here is, that is here, that is we need to print star only when, in the first line, in the first condition, what we need to do, we need to print star only when if the value of j is equals to 1, or I can say from here, that is, what was that, j is less than equals to n by 2 plus 1. If any of the condition will satisfy, then I need to print star j is less than equals to n by 2 plus 1. So any of the condition will satisfy what I need to print, I need to print star. Separated with a space. So I have printed. In the else part, what I need to print, I need to print simply space. I don't need to print star, I need to print spaces. Okay, so again in the first we have done with this, with the first line. So else if the value of I is greater than equals to n by 2, then what we have to do is, if the value of I is greater than n by 2, then what we need to do, that is this one, here it is, that is where yeah, what we need to do, if the value of I is less than equals to n by 2, it means if the value of I, here I have the, if I is less than equals to n by 2, so here what I need to do, I need to tackle this condition like this, that is if j is less than equals to n, if j is less if it means j is equals to n, then we need to print star, or at this position we need to print star. So what does it mean, if the value of j is equals to n, or j is equals to n by 2 plus 1. If this condition satisfy, then only I have to print star. So I am doing this, and in the else part, what I need to do, I need to print spaces. And if this condition satisfy, that if the value of, else if I equals to n by 2 plus 1, then what I need to do, in this part, what I have to do is, I have to print simply star in each of the lines. So here I don't need to write any of the condition, I have to print star. I'm printing the star. So again, else if I is less than n, here what I need to do, I need to print what I need to do is, if the value of j is equals to 1, or j is equals to n by 2 plus 1, then only I need to print star, otherwise I need to print spaces, so on. So if j is what, if j is equals to 1, or j is less than equals to I mean j is equals to n by 2 plus 1. So only I need to print star, otherwise I need to print spaces. I need to print spaces. And in the else part, what I need to do, if the value in the last line, what we have done, that is if the value of j is equals to 1, or j is greater than n by 2 plus 1, then we need to print star. So let's copy this line. If the value of j is equals to 1, or j is equals to 1, or j is greater than equals to n by 2 plus 1, or j is greater than equals to n by 2 plus 1, so then we need to print star. after completing this line, after completing with the first, what I need to do, I need to print, I need to change the line. So that is what system dot out dot print. I mean, after completing with the first line, I need to switch the line. So that that was I was doing. Okay, so let's run this code. So it was working fine, but here it's not working. It's not working here. So let's see what was happening here. In the first line, we need to print star here also. So if I is equals to 1, so if I is equals to 1, if j is equals to n, or j is less than equals to n by 2. So I hope I didn't write that condition. J equals to n, or j is equals to n. So let's run it again. So now it's working fine. Let's submit this code. It got accepted. I hope you like the solution. If you like the solution, please hit the like button. Up till then, bye bye.